Choosing polarity. 1. Align choices. In one direction to gain power. Polarity is the mechanism that transforms ordinary life into the game of life. Just as raw iron becomes a magnet when its internal particles align, a human being becomes spiritually powerful when their ethical choices point consistently in one direction. Each decision becomes like a crystallite turning toward a single purpose. Over time, this alignment creates inner momentum, clarity, and the ability to influence others simply through presence. Without ethical consistency, the personality remains scattered, unable to generate the torque needed for real spiritual movement. Polarity is built through repetition, intention, and the courage to choose consciously rather than reactively. 2. Choosing the service path. Across every major religion and wisdom tradition, a single teaching repeats itself in different words. Treat others as you wish to be treated. This universal ethic is not sentimental. It is the foundation of how consciousness evolves. When your actions grow from compassion, fairness, and shared humanity, you begin to participate in the deeper architecture of spiritual growth. Ethical living becomes the doorway into a higher game, where every decision carries metaphysical weight and shapes the direction of your soul. 3. Treat every ethical choice as spiritual fuel. Human consciousness functions like an engine. Incoming situations are the fuel. Higher principles are the air. When you respond ethically, the inner cylinders ignite and generate real spiritual power. Without polarity, the engine stays dormant. Choices made without ethical reference produce no momentum. They do not move you forward on the game board. Ethical commitment gives you metaphysical horsepower. It awakens the capacity to act, to serve, and to evolve with purpose. The more consistently you choose in alignment with higher principles, the more power flows through your being. 4. Rules alone cannot form a moral compass. Most of what society calls moral education is a set of inherited rules taught without explanation. The 10 Commandments, for example, outline behaviors, but do not reveal the underlying principle that makes those behaviors meaningful. Codes of conduct can limit harm, but they do not create inner alignment. True ethical understanding arises not from memorizing rules, but from grasping the logic behind compassion, reciprocity, and shared dignity. Ethics is not obedience. It is the intelligent recognition of unity. When you understand why ethical action matters, your choices become grounded and consistent rather than reactive or fear-based. 5. Use the Golden Rule as your guiding north. The Golden Rule is the simplest and most reliable ethical tool ever created. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Give them the same respect, patience, honesty, and understanding you would want for yourself. This principle can be applied to any circumstance, no matter how complex. When you look at another person and see a being equal in worth to yourself, you polarize yourself toward the positive path of service to others. This alignment lifts you off the flat game board of ego reactions and places you on the multi-dimensional game board where conscious evolution takes place. 6. Choose ethical action, even when it costs you something. True ethical behavior often asks for effort, sacrifice, or discomfort. It may require letting go of convenience, pride, or emotional momentum, yet this willingness to see another's needs as valid as your own is what magnetizes the soul. Every time you choose compassion over indifference, patience over anger, understanding over blame, you strengthen your polarity. The decision to honor another's dignity, even when difficult, is the essence of ethical power. These moments define your trajectory on the game board and reveal the kind of being you are becoming. 7. Become a conscious player, not a passive character. Once a person commits to making choices based on compassion, reciprocity, and unity, they cease being a passive character in the game and become a conscious player. Ethical choices align your inner values, awaken your spiritual engine, and give you the momentum to move with intention rather than habit. The game of life is won not through perfection, but through consistent orientation towards service, kindness, and conscious choice. Polarity emerges through your daily decisions, and with it comes the power to live with purpose, clarity, and a sense of belonging to something far greater than yourself. 8. Look beyond earthly immortality. Children, creative works, fame, influence, and legacy offer a kind of symbolic endurance, although all of it eventually dissolves. True continuity is not found in the world, but in the soul stream. Every lifetime enriches this larger self and returns to it when physical identity dissolves. What survives is the essence that has lived through many incarnations and will one day face the simple outcome of graduation or repetition. What you achieve here becomes the baseline for future evolution. The choice you make in this density becomes the raw material for refining that polarity across many lifetimes in higher realms. 9. Commitment creates polarity. Graduation is earned not through complex rituals, but by a sincere commitment to stand for love. One wholehearted decision to orient your life towards service to others shifts your vibration instantly. Mistakes do not remove your polarity, since intention outweighs slips. Self-forgiveness becomes part of the path, because returning to your commitment is what stabilizes the polarity you chose. 10. Adopt an identity that supports your polarity. Seeing yourself as a knight of polarity can help give shape to your choice. Knights pledge themselves to a higher ideal and hold themselves to a code that orients all decisions. This inner image strengthens consistency, courage, and resilience as you work to embody love in an imperfect world. A symbolic self can anchor a lifetime of practice.